Hey guys, welcome to Glow in the Dark Tarot. This is going to be the October reading for the sign of Cancer. So, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Usually I already pre-shuffle and have the spread already out, along with the clarification cards and even the oracle decks, but I'm just going to pull a 6-card spread, and I'm going to do some shuffling and just see what comes out for the sign of Cancer, okay? So Cancer, how you doing? How you been? How you feeling? What you been up to? And Libra season. We're crushing on the tail end of Libra season, moving into Scorpio season. We are in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. And there are some weird things happening. How is it affecting you though, Cancer? We're in the cardinal air season, so you as cardinal water, how are you feeling? Let's see. I might pull a little bit more than 6 cards. But let's see what comes out. What's going on for Cancer, October 2019? What's going on for Cancer, middle of October 2019? Let's see what comes out here. Cancer, October 2019. Cards don't want to speak. I wonder if that's coming from you all. I don't know why I'm picking up a little bit of this hermit-like energy, and of course you guys, you are the crabs, but I don't feel like maybe this inward type of energy is coming from you feeling threatened in some type of way, or insecure in some type of way. I feel as though there is a part of you that does just kind of want to hide out or get away a little bit or readjust or figure things out. I know that Gemini is doing that. They call Gemini the ghost of the zodiac, which maybe they are. But I think that the reason that they are doing that are for a couple of different reasons. So, let's see what 3 cards actually that came out. King of Swords in the reverse, 3 of Cups, the Fool. So, Cancer, I do think that there is a part of you that always goes with the flow, but I think that there is a part of you that is trying to go with the flow now, but mostly just to, how do you say it? I don't want to say put on a facade, but just to kind of not be too focused on this part of you that I think just kind of does want to hide out a little bit. So I do feel this sense of communication. I do feel this sense of community. I do feel this sense of not worrying about things past what you need to worry about, what you feel you need to worry about. But there is a part of you that is measured this month or for the rest of this month. Maybe you're being measured with who you talk to and why. What you talk about, what you don't talk about, what you say, who you say it to, leaps of faith that you take or don't take. I feel that maybe, even though you might not particularly be too concerned or worried about things around you, that there is a part of you that is a little bit impatient And maybe you're impatient, just slightly. I don't feel it overwhelmingly, but maybe you are impatient because you know that something is on the horizon, and you know that something is coming, but maybe you don't quite know what that is, or maybe you have an idea, but it's kind of like, when is it going to happen? Yeah, I do get this sense, Cancer, that you feel like there is only so much that you can do. Um, and there's only so much that you can worry about, and I do think that that leaves you to a place where you aren't particularly gridlocked. You aren't particularly at a crossroads. But I think that there is something in you, or some type of rumbling in you that maybe you feel, but maybe you're not quite ready to let that out, or you're not quite sure how to let that out. And I think that that leads to some type of frustration. Maybe there is this sense of you not having all the answers. Let's look at the cards that decided to flop out. Yeah. I know I said I wasn't going to pull that many cards, but the shuffling kind of got too good for me. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like, there is a change, there is an ending, there is a completion on the horizon. There is a sense of you knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want, cutting out what you don't want, not being afraid to assert this new sense of clarity, or way of seeing, or way of being, which is going to lead you to a completion within yourself and with things around you. With this Tower moment here, I would suggest that whatever changes happen with you this month, you don't try to control it. I think that there is going to be something that is going to be some sort of upheaval. But I think your best option would be to just let it happen. Yeah, just let it happen. Don't let it sway you as far as your temperance, or your balance, or your general approach and general outlook towards what it is that you're doing. I think that possibly with that Three of Swords energy up there, that maybe for some reason, sometimes I associate the Three of Cups energy. I associate the Three of Cups energy with celebration, communication, getting together with friends. In some readings, depending on the context, it can display third party energy in a negative way. But sometimes I read it as like avoidance, depending on how it is in the spread. So, even though it is, it can be a reading about communication and community and celebration, especially celebration of emotions being so fickle, and them being so interchangeable. Sometimes those emotions can be masking things that we otherwise don't want to talk about, or we want to avoid. So for me, sometimes that card is a card of avoidance. I'm not going to say I'm getting that strongly with your reading, but I'm also not going to rule that out. It can be, and the way I read it, a card of distraction. Okay, so let's get some clarification going. There might be a little bit of impatience or frustration with what you feel personally that you were able to create or connect with or manifest in your own life. Wheel of Fortune. So I think that things are going better for you than you think they are, or than they appear. I do think that things are working the way that they should. I think that you should avoid trying to figure out things, trying to figure out people or situations that maybe it's not your job to figure them out. I think that you should just let destiny kind of do its thing and take its own place. Things are turning for you, and I get this sense that maybe you don't see it, or maybe you don't really feel it, but they are. I definitely do get a sense that that you know what you want, or you are starting to figure out who you are and who you're not, or figure out what you want. There is some sense of clarity that is coming to you, and it's directly being followed by that World card. So this clarity, along with this Wheel of Fortune coming out to clarify the King of Swords in the reverse, is what is supposed to happen. I think this month, particularly, especially with this Mercury in retrograde and us being in the pre-shadow phase, this month is going to bring out a lot of things for a lot of different signs. What it brings out, whether it's within you or with other people, is what is going to need to be brought out for you. Okay, so this is what comes out, what happens this month is going to be tailored to the clarity that you have in the place that you are right now. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, so there is this naivete, maybe, or this innocence to the celebration. I think I look more at this Three of Cups as just your innocent way of wanting to just enjoy your life, or enjoy the people that you are around, or to have some sense of community. I do feel that there's this very innocent want or need of connection, maybe even past one that has to do with love. And I think that you are open to that. I think that there is a part of you that feels like this celebration or this connection, or this sense of community will bring you some sense of happiness. And it's almost like you have this very childlike approach to wanting that and going towards that, and maybe even nurturing that, and offering yourself to that. And Cancer, in some ways, you guys are very childlike. And if this has to do with love, this could be a crush that you have, or someone could have a crush on you, and it's very innocent or childlike, or there is a very childlike quality to the love that is in your life. Clarify the Fool in the reverse for Cancer, October 2019. Come on, cards. Clarify the Fool in the reverse for Cancer, October 2019. Clarify the Fool in the reverse for Cancer, October 2019. I think I'm going to start doing readings this way, where it's just more, in the moment, instead of just pre-pulling cards. And there we go. There's your card. So there is this part of you, Cancer, that is moving forward. I get this sense that you are moving forward regardless of maybe some frustration, or regardless of some you know maybe not having all the answers. I really don't see this as not being a positive reading. Or I do see this as being a positive reading. I'm sorry, I don't see this being a negative reading. I think that there is something, a creative venture. Perhaps this has to do with love. Maybe this has to do with the past. Or maybe this has to do with some inadequacy that you feel within yourself or from another person. Again, with that Ace of Wands in the reverse, clarifying the Nine of Swords in the reverse, I think that there is something that you are just not worried about or concerning yourself with. I get this sense of it is what it is type of an energy as it relates to yourself and to other people. Clarify King of Wands in the reverse. Okay. It's interesting to have the Three of Swords clarify the King of Wands in the reverse in the center of your reading. Queen of Cups clarifying the Two of Swords. So maybe this thing that you feel a little frustrated with, maybe this has to do with love. This could possibly have to do with a third party energy. I do think that it's interesting that the Three of Swords is directly under the Three of Cups. And remember what I said about how sometimes I see that Three of Cups as being a card of avoidance. So maybe the way that I see this with that card clarifying the King of Wands in the reverse, that there could be some doubt that you have within yourself or within a situation of what you can create or what you are capable of creating or manifesting with that. And I think the core of that is possibly some type of inadequacy or doubt that you feel within yourself, and I think that leads you to some disappointment. If that isn't within yourself, it could be with someone else around you. I do feel that either way, you do have this sense of keeping it moving. The Queen of Cups sitting directly under the Chariot card. So, I do think that, you being a water sign, and there's a lot of blue in this reading, and there's a lot of sword energy in this reading. So Cancer, you are kind of taking on this notion of an air sign this month. There is a very analytical side to you, especially as it relates to perhaps even your emotions. It's almost like you're not letting the wave of your emotions carry you away. It's almost as though you are letting those emotions turn into fog, turn into a little bit more of a fixed energy instead of just water that can just flow wherever it wants. You're controlling yourself a whole lot this month. Controlling what you're thinking about what you're thinking about.